Hey there guys, today I'm going to be showing you guys, yes you, how to make your own custom cards for if you're planning on making a trading card game of your own. These are at least my methods. Now, the apps I probably use are Adobe Photoshop Mix, Resize Me, Image Editor, Word, and sorry, my mind goes to those places, and that's pretty much it. So, okay, so the first thing we'll do here is head to Image Editor. We'll click on Restored. Click on this image here. Hit the Images. We'll click on this image here. Send to the background, and we'll need and then we'll resize this image. And we'll crop it at least halfway to this line right here. Once we got all that done, we'll duplicate it in a new project, then save it. Or wait, you know what? Well, there are times. Well, you know what? There are times where I'm not really satisfied with how the image results. So, why don't we do this? Send it back. Resize. I don't use this method too often. Duplicate a new image, save, then exit out of that. Now we head to Adobe Photoshop Mix. And again, I do apologize if some of the apps take a little long to yeah, and that happens also. Don't send. Sound of my that's the sound of my finger running across the string, or it's basically the sound of my finger running across the screen. Or me just moving the tablet around. And there are times where this tablet doesn't want to work with me. this image was something I saved on a previous project. We'll click on this image. Add the image we just saved from image editor to this one. Now we'll save it. Erase this bit. Now we'll click image here with these colored brackets on it. And again, usually it takes at least a few seconds or at least a minute for these things to load. Well, to be honest, our internet is kind of crappy, so that shouldn't come as no surprise. Well, we'll just close that app out and do it and click it again, just because, like I said, our internet service is kind of crappy at where we live. Now let's do this again. Well, we add the image we just saved to this one. Now we make it like this. Erase this one here. Now we head to an app that I may have forgot to mention, Background Eraser. This app's pretty handy. You'll see why. Now you see these hexagon and triangle shapes. These all have a specific purpose to them, which I will explain in just a minute. So what I use this app for is to simply erase the fillings in these in the hexagons and triangles on the sides of on the card image. Now it doesn't take too terribly long, so once we got all that done, we'll save it. Then we head back to Adobe Photoshop Mix. Sorry about that. Now we just look for the right, all we need to do is just look for the right card texture, which is the colored background. We'll use this one here. There are many kinds of monster cards there are many different types of cards for my custom card game that I made, but I will discuss all that in a later video. The image we just saved and mix it with this particular image here, then save it. Now we head back to Image Editor. But before that, let's head to DeviantArt. Just head to my DeviantArt page, and so we can save something real quick before we do anything else. Save this one here. Pretty cool, right? Anyway. Now we go to the image we saved on Adobe Photoshop Mix. I always start with the name of the card first, so this is the maximum size of the name card, of the card name text box. Change the font color to black, change the font to Optimus. The maximum font size is 23. The name of this card is Omni Hero X-Man. And there's bound to be some spelling errors there now and then. Now for this, as usual, change the font size and disable shadows. Change the font color, but the font size for this is 20. Change the font, but other than that, the same font color. It is this is a warrior type wild card monster. There are different types of monsters and all that, but again, I will discuss that in a later video. Now, remember what I said that these triangles and hexagons on the sides of the card image serve as a purpose? Well, you're about to find out what they are. Here we have the tribute cost. Now, most monsters or item cards require now, item cards and most monster cards have a mana point cost. As much like Magic the Gathering, there is mana to pay in this game I made. While there are some monster cards out there that have a tribute cost. Sorry, messed up on that. Change the font sizes to 20. The tribute cost is 3. Now, these spaces here, I don't use these too often. There are a few monster cards where I use these two spaces on the bottom here, and this one is a good example. Change the font size to 20. Center it. Just as we did in the other space. Change the font size and font color, and center it. And now for this hexagon here, use shapes on this, round it. Change the size from 1 by 1. And for this is what's called a rarity spot. You know when you look at foils on various cards, on various card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon and all that, how the foils determine the card's rarity? Well, rarity spots work something like that. The color of the rarity spot depends on the rarity. Green is basically Now, green means the card is rare. Not super rare, not ultra rare, none of that. Just rare. I will discuss the game mechanics and all that on a later video. So once we got the rarity spot, we'll accept it. And now, these brackets here, these are the stats of the monster. Change the font size to 15. Oh, sorry. 15. The font to Transformers. And yes, I'm using the Transformers font. The cool thing about this app, there's Transformers font, Nickelodeon font, Harry Potter font, all that cool stuff. Anyway, the blue here is the defense. The green one here is the HP, or short for health points. And the red one here is the power points. Let's see, for the PowerPoints, we'll go with $25. Oh wait, no, sorry, 15. For the PowerPoints, we'll go with yeah, 15. Okay, just what my mind was off track there. The PowerPoints will be at 2,500. The defense will be $2,000. And as for the HP, we'll go with we'll go with 2,100. Now we'll get to the final part. Well, not the final part. One thing that all monster card, well, most monster cards have. If we go to restore it here, like you see these symbols here, these symbols like this one here, these are called covenants. Not all monsters have them, but they basically were like factions. So this is, again, I'll discuss all of that in a later video, like the rarity spots, the covenants, monsters go into, all that stuff in a much later video. And another thing we'll add is the attribute. Which basically the elemental types of the monsters. So for this, we'll go with Cosmic. We'll resize it to it's about halfway to here. And we'll move this up for just a... Alright. Now, the last thing we need to do is the card text. So, we'll just go to Google Chrome real quick. Oh wait, you know what? Well, how about we do this instead? We'll, yeah, because it basically speeds things up a bit. We'll click on the image we just saved on DeviantArt. Crop it here at a good size. Once all that's done, we'll get to the card text. The font size to 15. Disable shadows. Change the font color to black. Leave the font as it is. Negate the effects of all face up or set monsters or item cards your opponent controls. Once per turn, you can banish one monster from your cemetery. This card gains power in HP equal to that banished monster's MP or tribute cost times 500. And until the end phase, and until your next turn's standby phase, it also gains the banished monsters. Sorry, there's bound to be some spelling errors in there. Effects and skills. Alright. We'll delete this part here. Save this image. Now we head to resize me. Now there's a reason why I use this app. Now I apologize that this is taking a bit slow. No thanks. Photo album. We'll click on the image that we just saved. We resize the image, custom size. Change the width to 689 and the height to 985. Save it. And save the image. Now there's a reason why I made this image to this particular size. You'll see when we head back to Adobe Photoshop Mix. Okay, just gotta wait for that to load. Shouldn't take too terribly long. Alright, now we'll click on this image here. This is an image I saved from, now I got this image from the Game Crafter. It's a good website if you want to make your own custom board games, trading card games, any kind of game you want to make. Well, not video games. Anyway, you see this red portion of the image here? It's the same size as the image we just saved on Resize Me. Hang on. Not again. Yeah, it does that. It doesn't make me want to access to my image gallery to this. We'll try that again. Now let's try that again. Now, as I said before, this red portion of this image here is about the same size of the image we just saved on Image Editor. Not Image Editor, Resize Me, sorry. So we'll click on that particular image and just add it to here. And once that's done, we'll save it. Now we'll head to gallery and see how well it turned out. Because there is a good chance the text might have been just a bit blurry. Wow, it actually looks pretty good. Alright, and that just about does it for the video. If you guys like what you saw, then feel free to hit the like button, and if you guys want to see more, then feel free to subscribe to my channel. You don't have to or not. You don't have to subscribe whether you want. And another video about this, I'll be discussing the game mechanics, and after that, I'll be doing a video about the many types of cards introduced in the game. And in another video about my game, I'll also discuss the storyline. I'll also be doing some archetype videos concerned about the many archetypes in this game. And so yeah, as always, I will see you guys on the next video. Till then, adios.